are driving quite quickly, so you may be wondering what the rush is. We're in a rush to see hopefully a leopard, the youngster that I've never seen before, and we're not too far away, so we just thought that there is this little gap in the weather and we'll do whatever we can to get back out again and show you this leopard. It's apparently only 1 year old, so it should be quite cute and playful. There's one vehicle that's been waiting for us to get here to make sure that they had us sightings, which is very kind of them. It's a bit wet. Once we get there, hopefully they'll be building up on screen as much as they are now. Anyway, welcome back, and I hope we still have a few with us. The rain was simply too heavy to continue broadcasting, so land here. Copy that, I'll turn off here. Copy, thanks so much. Okay, wonderful folks. We are here now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this animal. And you'll see the other vehicle briefly as we pass by down on this dip that's kindly waited for us through the rain to make sure that we get a visual of this animal. I really didn't think we'd be coming out again when that rain set in, so this is a huge, huge bonus for us. Wow, look at that. Thanks so much, yours. As Jason zooms in, you'll begin to notice this beautiful leopard. Oh, she is a beauty, and she looks full-bellied. So this is a young female, I believe, who's just about a year old. And she does have a brother of the same age, from the same litter, as well as a mother that they're still spending time with, so we're not sure where they are at the moment. They could well rejoin later. I'm just going to move the vehicle forward slightly to give Jason a better angle to work with. Beautiful. Yours, did you see the brother and the mother? Okay.
They were all three of them were here.
Okay.
But she stayed behind.
Okay.
She was playing on this branches here.
Good photos? Good. So, I'm not sure if you could hear that, but Yours did let us know that she was here with her brother and mother not too long ago, but they've continued off into some thicker vegetation where it would have been very difficult to follow them. So thankfully she has stayed behind here, and she's been playing around on some of these trees in the area. There's a dead fallen down tree between us and her now that apparently she was playing on, so Jors is very happy. I'm sure he got some great photographic opportunities. And haven't we just been so lucky? After having been here 2 months, we've seen 3 new leopards in the last 48 hours, 2 of which being Shadow and her cub, and now this young female. I wonder what she's looking back at there. She could be looking back at her brother or mother that may have come back and may be calling her, because she is certainly looking back quite intently, and she is looking in the direction where yours mentioned, and now she's just followed a hornbill that's landed in the tree. So you may have seen her change her direction of where her head was looking, and she followed in a hornbill that landed in the tree between us and her. I'm just going to try and get a little bit closer, folks, and see if we can get you some better images of her. So, stand by. It's a bit risky because I fear we may not be able to shots of her face from where I'm going here, but let's try. Oh no. Well, we're going to have a small gap through the branches that actually might be quite nice for a short space of time. And I am just going to keep an eye behind us to make sure her mother doesn't return. Oh, looks like we're in for some action. She could just be reshuffling, repositioning. She's currently in a buffalo thorn tree, which has got very nasty hooked thorns as well as straight thorns, so she might get a little bit tangled up here. Let's wait and see. Oh, okay. The mother is called Nkaini, which is the daughter of the beacon female, and Nkaini was the other, well, it's the beacon female and the Jordan male that gave birth to Kaini female, and then these are the 2 cubs. Well, that little plan to reposition the vehicle didn't work out too well, so we are going to go back to where we were initially. I wonder if it's worth taking a gamble and going down for the mother and the brother. Yours, do you think it might be worth one of us going to check Buffelshoek Dam for the other 2? I'm even happy to go. Yeah? I'm even happy to go. Yeah? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, no problem. You do what you need to do. Yeah, we're going to have a decent one from where we are back now. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Okay. Apologies, folks, for my lack of talking to you, but I just needed to run a plan through yours, and I think we will. He needs to sadly go back home. His son needs to, I think, leave the reserve today, so he's got some time pressure, which is not ideal. But we will spend a little bit more time here with this young female, and then if she doesn't do anything and she gets quite comfortable here, we're not far from Buffelshoek Dam, and I'm hoping that we could find the mother and the other cub, her brother, playing around at the dam. But it would be a gamble to leave her. So let's just spend another 5 or so minutes here. We're going to battle to get a good view, which is another reason why I'm inclined to possibly leave. She's got herself into a seriously strange but surprisingly comfortable looking spot. And I don't think she... And to be able to come out and come straight to a leopard that we've never seen before is a huge, huge bonus. So really happy about that. Let's follow this road down here and see if we don't come up with any sign of her mother and brother. It could be anywhere here. But we are in the area of Buffelshoek Dam, so maybe they have headed down there. Just going to drive nice and slowly. Sadly, it's going to be very difficult to see tracks now on this road. But I will keep an eye out. Oh, this is exciting. Come on, Leopard. So this little road that we're on takes us through to the back of Buffelshoek Dam. It's a less commonly used road that takes us onto the side of the dam that we usually look onto from the other roads when we're filming. So this will be a nice different perspective for you, and hopefully a different perspective that also includes 2 leopard that you're not used to seeing. Well, we'll take a little bit of a chance here and see if we can get down this. I've got a feeling they might be lying up in this riverbed. Ooh, okay. No immediate sign of them here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drive a little bit up this riverbed and see if firstly we don't see any of their tracks indicating that they've already passed through. Or maybe we get lucky and actually just find them. Copy, thanks Alex. I will ask you to repeat those when I bring them up. Yes, so much for that. Okay. No sign of him here. Just wants to go. Okay. Just don't know how much further we'll be able to get you, Jason. So. What we will maybe be able to do is actually sneak back out here, which is useful. Okay, so no luck yet, but I still think we could get lucky in finding the mother in the so we will continue our just want to go and check on the other side of the dam, and maybe we'll get lucky there. If not, we will head back to the female, who's called Shaluva. According to Alex, I think my pronunciation is correct, and that means flower. So she's been named Flower for exactly what reason I'm not too sure, but you can let your mind wander. Possibly she spends a lot of time in flowers, or simply because she's very pretty. Necessary to squeeze through that gap. Either way, no sign of them here, so they could be anywhere really. They were heading down towards this dam. I'm guessing they're potentially lying up in the riverbed that we did briefly look in. It is very thick, and we need to be able to somehow try and look through that whole riverbed. We will have a few pokes in on the way back further upstream of where we did manage to look and search earlier. So let's see how it goes. At 1 year of age, the leopard cubs will be used to spending time alone. They would be left a lot of the time by their mother when she goes out hunting, so that they don't ruin her opportunities with their lack of hunting skills. So it's not uncommon for them to split up, and that's why that little female that we did see obviously felt comfortable spending some time on her own. So now just going to see if there aren't any little access points that take us closer to this riverbed where I'm guessing her brother and mother are. So we came out here, we've checked up to that point. Let's see if we can't poke our nose in here somewhere. Not ideal. Now I'm just going to check this one last spot if we don't have any luck. I don't want to spend too much time away from that other female for the fear that she may get up and disappear, and we would then miss that action. Yeah. No sign of him here. How's everything there, Jason? Good. Oopsie. That was a little stall. Let's hope we just pop out of here. There we go. Okay, so where could they have gone? The mother and the brother. Who knows? Hopefully she's still here. Yep, she still is. So we're in luck. The other two haven't gone anywhere. I'm wondering if they're not lying up very close by here. Beautiful flowers here on this round leaf teak. Not going to be easy for Jason because they're blowing in the wind. But nice to appreciate some of the floral beauty, not only the fauna. No. Do you have a remotely decent shot there, Romeo? So sadly this vegetation is very thick and we're gonna battle to get a different angle on her. How much longer do we have? 15 minutes. I'm almost tempted to continue the search for her mother and brother. Well, hopefully, considering the fact that she has made it this far, to a year of age, she is going to make it to adulthood. Each day that they grow, it becomes more likely that they will make it to adulthood. And like I say, considering she's made it this far, the odds are stacked now more heavily in her favor to actually reach independence, which will happen anywhere in the next 6 months to a year's time. She could expect to picked out by her mother and probably form a territory adjacent to her mother's. Copy, that sounds like a good plan. Okay, just to let you know, depending on how things go, we will in all likelihood extend this broadcast and make the most of these leopard sightings, or this leopard sighting, and hopefully the one of her mother and her brother, which he are going to go and look for again. There's another road that I can take, and we can come to her in a time. We're not shut down in 12 minutes. As per usual, we're going to stay live for a bit longer. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are too. And instead of taking that road again, I'm going to take another road that takes us around onto the other side of Arathusa Dam, and hopefully between here and there we have some sign of them. The rain is still coming and going in waves, the drizzle, so let's hope it doesn't get in the way of our plan. Just means Jason might have to wipe the monitor more regularly than he has been. But he is perfecting the art of doing it in one smooth stroke. Okay. Don't do this to us, rain. Come on. So we will be turning onto this road shortly. That brings us out onto the other side of Arathusa Dam. But this rain is a problem because the camera is getting soaked, which is not sustainable. What I think we're going to have to do, folks, is cover up, and we'll continue looking for the mother and her brother. If we do have any luck, we will let you know, but if not, we are going to have to cover up sadly now because the camera is getting too wet. So stay tuned on Twitter, or I'm not sure how you are getting the updates, but Alex will make sure that you do get any updates if we do go live again. If not, I'm sorry, but at least we did get this brief visual of Shaluva, the flower, the young leopard that we saw, and hopefully this afternoon they'll still be in this area and the rain would have stopped. So until then, we are going to just cover this up like that and just keep our camera dry. So yeah, not ideal. Alex, we still there? South Africa. We are here on Djuma and Arathusa, and the weather this morning has not quite made up its mind yet. We had a little bit of rain on the way in, and then when we were getting all the cameras and equipment sorted out to head out a few minutes ago, we heard some thunder rumbling, and Jason, who's on camera this morning, will pan around a little bit. We're not at the best vantage point here, but just to give you an idea of the clouds moving by, So we could potentially have some issues with weather, but we can see a little bit of blue sky and sun dotted behind these clouds, so with a little bit of luck it's not going to affect us. But at least the weather is nice and cool, so cool weather is a bonus. Now, potential plans for this morning are to head towards Shadow and her cub, a female leopard, and a cub of hers which is about 5 months old we're told. So, they've been in the same place for coming on 3 days now, or 3 nights, and there's some hyena at the base of the tree, so we need to go back there and investigate, see what's happened. There is going to come a point in this scenario that the meat is finished by the leopard and some of the bones may drop down, the hyena may finish them, and then the leopards can move off, and that would be great to see. And then hopefully we'll be able to get you some better visuals of the cub and her mother, or its mother. We're not sure if it's a male or a female, the cub. So we will start by making our way across there. It's not very close to where we are here, but we'll take a slow drive across there and see what we can find along the way. Alex is in final control this morning, so he's going to be directing from that position. And for any of you who may be new and this may be your first safari, welcome on board. And what's important to realize is that it's an opportunity to be interactive with myself. So if you would like to ask me any questions, to do so you would hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or questions at WildEarthTV on email. So send through some questions, and Alex, who's in control, will do his best to filter some of those through to me as the drive continues. And for all the regular viewers, who there are many, welcome back, and I hope we have a good morning. If our luck continues as it has been over the last week or so, last few weeks, since we really got here, to varying degrees and levels, we've had some incredible game viewing. Alex has just fed me through some comments about what people are saying on Twitter. So some remarks about my hair this morning, as well as apparently a bet going on regarding how long you'll think it'll take for me to get out of the vehicle. So I don't even know the answer to that question at this stage. Only Mother Nature does, so we shall see. Here's Brian's mother. And for those of you who may be confused, Brian is one of our cameramen, yes, but this is not his mother. One of the wildebeest that were born and given birth to by this individual that Jason is showing you was named Brian after the cameraman Brian. And we worked out yesterday that it was just about 2 months ago that she would have given birth to a calf, so incredible to see how quickly they grow and develop over this short period of time. And they gave us a beautiful private escort down this road last night, the same herd of wildebeest. And some zebra, which I'm very happy to see because we haven't seen zebra for a while. Well, I speak on behalf of myself. I'm not sure if Mark's had any luck there. Zebra and giraffe, though, are two of the less seen animals in the Sabi Sands, which is interesting. You could find yourself on the final drive of a 3 or 4 day safari in this area and you'll be literally tracking zebra, trying to show your guests them. So quite interesting how that works, because typically it's the leopard and the lion that you struggle for, but in this area it's zebra and giraffe that can often be your hardest to find animals. Now those are all females walking away from us. They're difficult animals to sex, zebra, but the females do have a vertical black strip between their buttocks or their rump, whereas the males' rump touch one another. There's no vertical white stripe. I'm hoping if they do continue walking down this road we can follow them for a bit, and this way I'll show you exactly what I was trying to explain to you regarding these white stripes or the black stripe. So this is the stallion at the back. You can see where his hind quarters meet. They touch one another, so it's white on white, whereas the individual to the right who's just wagged her tail, you'll see a vertical black stripe. Wag your tail again, quickly. No. Well, they weren't hanging around for us, sadly, but I hope that made a little bit of sense to you as to how to sex the zebra. Now, did Alex just say something there, Jason?
Questions, thank you.
Thank you. Just let me know if he's saying anything again, because my earpiece. Yeah. Yes, go ahead, Alex. Folks, on a morning like this where we do need to cover a little long distance, but it'll probably take us about 15-20 minutes to get to where we need to get to in order to see what's going on with Shadow and her cub. I'm not going to delay too much along the way because we do have quite a specific goal in mind, and the sooner we get there the better. And it is a scenario that we've been following for, this would be the 4th drive that we would have gone back to the same place, and in that whole period of time the cub that's stuck up the tree in all likelihood has not come down, not even once. So it'll be interesting to see when it does come down, and wouldn't that be wonderful if we got the timing right. And to get the timing right in nature, the only thing you can do is invest a lot of time toward any certain thing that you may want to see. It takes hours and hours of being out here to be rewarded with special sightings. So just like this situation that we are involved with now, and where we're going now with this leopard cub that we've been, and her mother that we've been watching for the last 3 drives, and now this will be the 4th. By spending more time there, we're increasing our chances of seeing something special happen there. So that is the main goal for the initial part of this morning. I'm going to have to get some radio updates and see if there are other vehicles in that position, but I can only do that when I get a little bit closer by. I'll actually have to change radio channels because the area that we're going into operates on a slightly different frequency to the area we're in now. Morning stations, it's Scott here. Can anybody copy me? Well, sadly nobody can copy me on that radio, which is not a problem. I know where we need to go, which is the fundamental thing here, but sadly the radio is not working too well at this stage. And all that means is that I won't be able to get a potential standby, which is how the guides manage and monitor sightings and make sure not too many vehicles get into one position. But hopefully when I am close by, the video contact will improve, and that way I won't skip ahead or chase anybody out of that sighting unfairly. Really fortunate this storm seemed to sneak past just east of us. When we were heading to work this morning, we even thought about cancelling the trip in because the storm that was brewing was really massive, and we did even get some rain before we had even got out of the gates of the camp half an hour away. So we nearly aborted the mission, but thankfully we didn't, because it's turned out, for now, to be absolutely perfect. Sadly, this road we're driving down is, well, firstly a bit bumpy, but that doesn't affect you too much. But it's also very hard, and by being very hard, it's difficult to see any tracks of animals that may have walked down this road. It is still possible in certain areas, but it's an easy road to see tracks on. So I'm not expecting to get any major clues of anything interesting as we drive down this road. And even though we're driving towards what could well be a confirmed sighting, we're not 100% sure the leopard will still be there with her cub. There's a chance she would, there's a chance they may have finished the kill and moved off. But either way, it's fairly guaranteed. But instead of just rushing there and not worrying about looking for animals along the way, it's important to always try and keep an eye out, because if they're not there, then hopefully we've got a plan B to follow up on. This road, however, that we've just turned onto is wonderful for tracks. I can already see that a hyena's been walking down the right-hand side of the road. Good. Sorry guys, I don't seem to copy you well unless I'm nearby, and just wondering any updates on Shadow and Bantuan. Okay, well, not copying anything. I'm going to make my way to that position and hopefully not bump anyone. So just to warn you, if some of you haven't been following the last few drops, you won't know that where we're going is right on the edge of our broadcasting signal. So if the signal does cut out at any stage, we don't have a second veal up this morning. Mark's got a morning off to relax, so just bear with us. We may have to reposition the vehicle and jiggle the antenna at the back of the vehicle in order to get a better picture. So that is something that I could just pre-warn you about, because there may be a few small signal issues, but that'll be most likely when you're actually in the sighting, if the sighting is still going. I sadly can't hear anything on the radio. Some vehicles may well have already gone there and discovered that the kill is no longer in place, and once that kill is gone, the whole situation would have diffused. The hyena wouldn't carry waiting there for very long once the opportunity to get food has disappeared. Is this the way I want to go, or do I want to go the other way? I think we can get this. How are you doing there, Jason?
I'm quite happy.
Are you focused?
Very
okay, because I don't see your head scanning to side, but it's focused on one area that you're getting lucky on. Just to that. Jason's looking up at the moment, so you've got a lucky. Is that permanently where his head is facing? So just give you an up. Not only the cameraman, but also just along the way, in between his camera. This morning he's adopted a different technique, scanning from side to side. Inquiry. Interception is the extremity of our broadcasting range, so sadly there's not much we can do about it. Two afternoons ago, simply to explore some new areas. Come up to Arathusa very much, so oh, but this hyena has come up to investigate us, so maybe we should try and make the most of this little opportunity. And it's coming to sniff around the base of this tree, and it must be torture because they can see that food up there. There's not much, but they would consume everything that's left up in that tree, but sadly they've got no means to get to it. Now I'm guessing the leopard cub and its mother have moved off and are safe. They do come across hyena a lot in their life, especially in this area, do leopard cubs. So it wasn't an uncommon scenario for that leopard cub to be stuck up this tree for a few days with hyena lingering below. But probably some stage last night the mother and her cub managed to slink off without the hyena realizing. And I wonder where they could be now. Wouldn't it be wonderful to find them now? This hyena looks like it's in great condition. And also this is another animal that's nice to see again, because the hyena den site is no longer active. In Djuma we don't guarantee sightings that we used to. Where the leopard and her cub headed off to, that is our next problem that we need to try and solve. It would be so nice to find Okay, well, I don't think a lot's going to... Oh, okay. Do next. Yo. Wonderful. We do whistling away to the birds, and the bird call I was doing is an orange breast, like a new one calling out on our one side. Having to shut it, and if they were still here, the gamble didn't pay off, and now we are paying the price with technical. So we knew that it was on the boundary, but as should problems because we signal. There's a pride of five line here. They do occur. You sometimes and that's adults, not just cubs. Cubs you typically don't include too much in a lion pride because they haven't matured and therefore don't really contribute to the pride. Now speaking of lion, just got some tracks of what looks to be a male lion, potentially two, but they are heading in the wrong direction, the direction we've already come from. So I'm not going to continue following up on those tracks, also due to the silt and casting issues in the direction that the lion tracks are heading, even if there's a strong broadcast. So as tough as it is, separate tracks, and we are going to continue as it happens. We are limited to search certain areas. It's not a free-for-all out here, so that does impact and influence what we can and can't. We don't have free reign over all the properties within the Sabi Sats. It's understandable people are running some top-class safari lodges here, and there's certain standards and levels that need to be maintained in order to ensure the best possible service is given to the guests. What we can possibly do is show you the lion tracks for what it's worth. I don't know where the best spot for me to stop is. Is this okay here? So looks like two individuals walked down this road. Could well have been the same two Birmingham boys that Mark showed you, whoever was watching yesterday evening. It could well have been them. Oh, a very pretty little riverbed here. Certainly not an easy one for Jason to show, but he's going to give it a bash because it's quite overgrown. Oh no, he's done well. My monitor flickered to life for a second. I really do love these riverbeds. Opportunity there to show you. Oh, round two. Well done, don't worry, there's a round three. So thankfully there's a few more Nyala passing across this road ahead of us, because the first one that we saw, we only got the back end of for you, sadly, but thankfully another three have come through now. Such pretty antelope, the Nyala. Even when it is just a glimpse of them. I copy, go ahead. Okay, copy. Apologies about the tapping sound that you can hear when we're on the move. We're going to try and establish what it is. Maybe it's this being loose. Yeah, that is what it must be. Okay. Thank you, sir. Any cable tie?
I've just unplugged that audio clip so it's not loud in the ears of these people. The cable ties have been taken out. There's this
Sorry folks, just some running repairs here. It sounds like it is a necessity. Just need one more cable tie. Are we gonna get lucky? Yes, we are. Well, that should help a bit. We shall see. Hold on. Okay. No problem, Alex. I'm glad we are up and running again. Got a message from Mary in Michigan saying thanks for going to check on the cub. And no problem, we certainly needed to make sure we knew what the end result was of that scenario, so I'm very glad we did go there. Even though we didn't find anything, the information we found was useful to us, and we can assume that the mother shadow and her cub did get away unharmed. Got hit by one stray raindrop on my forehead. Hopefully no more come. Yeah, so this is a fairly good spot for us to pan around the surroundings and show the weather that's coming in from the south. This is the northern end of the Arathusa airstrip, and I can see tracks of these same two male lions. So in all likelihood, yeah, the same two Birmingham boys that Mark saw last night, briefly, were heading towards the airstrip, which is where we are now, and then they must have continued to where we had their tracks a little bit earlier. Sadly in the wrong direction. questions just come through from Carol in Santa Monica asking whether the weather does affect the broadcasts. Morning Carol, welcome on board. I'm sure the weather does play a part. There's a lot of satellites involved in getting the stream all around the world, and bad weather I don't think helps satellites. Look at the squirrel there, Jason. So yes, I think the weather will certainly have an impact, but how much of an impact, I'm not entirely sure. I'll try to avoid the technical stuff as much as possible. There's also an incredibly cute and small bird of prey. Can you get it there, Jason? In this dead knobthorn.
Dead knobthorn away.
I need to roll forward a bit for you.
Oh, there.
Have you got it?
I can see it.
Or must I go forward, or will you be able to?
Forward a squash.
Oh no! No! No!
I got it.
Well done. That was a little bird of prey, which you wouldn't think it was. Uh-oh, here comes the rain. Folks, we may have to cover the vehicle up with a tarpaulin if it does stop raining, so we will stop broadcasting. Just to warn you, it's not necessarily going to happen, but it could be at any stage that we have to abort mission. But yeah, Alex, I don't know, can you confirm what effects the weather has on the signal and broadcast? I don't know, and like I say, I try and avoid technical issues at all costs. It's not one of my strengths, the technical sides of this whole operation. But in terms of just broadcasting from a presenter and cameraman points of view, okay. Alex is saying heat also plays a part. If it's very hot, it causes problems with the broadcasting. And just from a point of view that if it's raining, even if we could have or did have good broadcasting signal, if it's wet, we can't go out because all of this equipment will get wet and then no longer work. So all in all, that it's fair to say that weather does have a huge impact on the broadcasting, whether it's the actual signal or for us just being out and physically being able to get out and show you animals is impossible when it's wet with the way the vehicles are currently configured. But thankfully, as time goes on and technology gets better, hopefully we will be able to go out in all kinds of weather conditions. Because a lot of the time, by the time you've been caught in a storm, you get wet, you're all drenched anyway. There's no point in racing home. You may as well just enjoy yourself out there because the damage has already been done. And it's quite nice to be out in nature in the rain, because typically as humans we seek shelter whenever it rains for obvious reasons, but to be out here in the rain can be quite an awesome experience. We've just stumbled upon a herd of elephants, which is great. There look to be some little youngsters in amongst them. It is very thick here, so what I'm going to try and do is get ahead of this herd and let them feed past us. Okay. Oh, slowly here. Slowly here. Oh, you're just coming to get a little snack, I see. Got a big tick below her eye. She came very close to us there, this female. Which is quite nice. It beats caffeine in the morning. It certainly does. I think an elephant wake you up. Oh, hello. That one changed its mind. Schlampen, Glovu, Safari driveway, parallel road junction, heading north. Oh, here's a nice one coming through here, Jason, on the left. A little youngster with some takeaway. And it seems like it's on a serious little mission now. I want to see if I can try and get a little bit further ahead. There are still more feeding. This youngster might give us some attitude. I can see it's playful. Hello. It's the one that just let off that little trumpet there. Shortly we are going to be able to be in a position where we can turn the vehicle around and face them and then watch them feed past us. Ooh. Morning. What was that all about? Hey? I'm just going to turn the vehicle around quickly. It will be worthwhile in the long run. So give me a moment. Okay. That racket you can hear in the background are two lilac-breasted rollers having some kind of a dispute. Despite how beautiful they are, their call is less attractive. Oh, what has this one found down there that it needed to bend down to try and bite onto? I'm not too sure exactly what it was. But the youngsters do take many years to get properly to grips with their trunk and how it works. And until such point in time, they do need to occasionally go down onto their knees to get the food they're looking for. Beautiful. Difficult for me to narrate in situations like this, folks, because I can't see exactly what Jason's filming, so I'd rather let him show you whatever he feels best and you can just enjoy interpreting what you see. But it is difficult because I may be looking at its eye and Jason may be focused on its trunk, and therefore for me to talk about its eye while you're looking at its trunk is not really going to work out too well. So I feel that less talking is better than more. Paul's just mentioned, and morning Paul, that, or noticed that all of their temporal glands are leaking or sweating, and the temporal glands are a little gland just behind the eye where you can see water has, not water, secretion or liquid has come out of those glands. So we have to keep an eye on this female because it was the same one that gave us a little bit of attitude on the way in, and she is close by. But Paul, even judging from their behavior since we've seen them, other than the one female's little bit of attitude initially, they've been very calm with us, so I don't think it's fair for us to say that they're stressed at the moment, but they may have been through some kind of a stress, certainly. But it's also, I believe, in an emotional indicator, not necessarily only stressful emotions, but even possibly happy emotions. So hard to read into exactly what would have caused their temporal glands to be sweating. Some form of excitement, whether it was negative or positive excitement, it's hard to tell. But a good question, and well noted, that they are, or a lot of their temporal glands are sweating. Sadly though, now the area they've headed into is a bit too thick for us to continue following them, so we will let them be. I also want to start trying to get a little bit closer back to Djuma in case it does indeed rain. So Sorry, Jason, I don't know. I just heard something. I don't know if it was you or the elephant.
Baby behind us.
So I do want to try and get a little bit closer back to Djuma in case the heavens do open. That way we can hurry back to shelter and show that all this equipment stays dry. The drizzle is coming thicker. Go ahead with the question, Alex. Thanks for that question, Alex. Alex has just asked a question that was sent through from Gloria. Excuse me, and good morning, Gloria. Welcome on board. Gloria's asked a very good question, and that is why the elephants don't attract a lot of oxpeckers. Now, even though we could see one tick on the eye of that elephant, it's potentially got to do with a few things. That elephant don't carry too many oxpeckers, too many ticks. But I think more importantly than that is that the elephants actually don't tolerate the oxpeckers on them at all. So that could also be a contributing factor to why the oxpeckers don't visit the elephants as much as the other animals, or at all really. But it is very strange. They're only one of the only herbivores that will not tolerate or not attract the oxpecker. So an interesting one. Copy. Thanks. Alex has just let me know another two antelope that don't really tolerate the oxpeckers are the waterbuck and the hartebeest. So those are another two to add to the list along with the elephants. And thank you for that, Alex. Okay, this weather is now looking considerably less promising than it was earlier. But we will continue until we are certain that we can no longer go on. Thanks, stations, crossing back to Wheels. Morning, stations, any updates please? Just cross back from Safari. Okay, copy, thanks very much. It's drizzling here. I'm on the Gowrie Main, heading towards Twin Dams and Vulture's Nest, and it's drizzling here. At Buffelshoek it's raining hard. Okay, copy, thank you very much. I've just got a report that not far north of us it's raining very hard, which is going to make me get even closer to Djuma than I was planning on going. I thought it was just going to be this drizzle, but thankfully one of the guides has just let us know that it is raining quite hard further north. It won't necessarily come here, but we do need to be ready to get out of the rain. We're not really well equipped for wet weather on these vehicles, so we just need to make sure we don't take any chances. But this is a chance we will take, and that's to look at all these really cute little wildebeest that are so close to us. I found it incredible how quickly their horns are growing. Oh, hello. Oh. The herbivores get very skittish in the wind, and it is very windy, and the reason for that, understandably, is they're kind of losing one of their senses, and that is their sense of hearing, because when it's very windy like this, how are they going to hear anything approaching them? The sound of any predator's approach will be muffled by the wind, so that's why they're a little bit jumpy. I want to try and check as much as I can in and around the lodge here for any tracks before it does rain any harder, in case it does rain any harder, because when it rains, that rain is going to wash away any tracks that may give us insight into where animals may have moved last night, so we can keep a rough tab on where they are. Because if it does rain hard and we don't have any idea where they've moved to last night, we're going to be playing a very long game of catch up. I guess that view through there, Jason, is one you might be able to try and show them to give them an idea of how soupy it is. How's that coming out? Oh yeah, that's painting a good picture. The monitor's just come back to life. So this is the weather we're experiencing here at the moment, folks. Not ideal, certainly. But hopefully it stays like this, and then we can continue. If it gets any heavier though, we are going to have trouble. And the fact that it's heavier not far away is concerning me. Go ahead. Okay, copy. Thank you very much. Okay, copy. Thanks very much, Texan. I'll just keep listening on the radio, but I don't think I'm going to take a chance coming out there. Copy. Well done. Enjoy it. Okay. Yeah, no, this weather's not getting any better, folks. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the cover where we can shelter this vehicle, and if the weather does improve, we'll come back out again. We'll send a message out on Twitter, but unless we do that, as you can see ahead of us, this weather is not looking good, and we're not going to be able to do a proper job broadcasting to you this morning, which I'm very sorry about, but it's just the way it is. However, if it does somehow clear in the next half an hour or so, we will try and get out again. It can be frustrating, this rain, but it is the key ingredient for life out here, so without it none of this would be here, or us, I guess. So
Why'd you leave your tree in the middle of the road?
we need to actually tell Candace about that. Yeah, now the rain's getting harder, and even where Texan is out on Buffalo or further to the east of us, he said it's raining hard there. Alex, why would you like me to do that? Negative? weather does not look like it's going to clear, folks. We'll show you one last view. Not that it's a view, but it gives you an idea of the soupy, rainy weather that surrounds us. And this is no good for what we're trying to do here. No good for my bird book either. Well, like I say, if it does clear up again, we'll head out. If not, we'll see this afternoon, hopefully. But this weather could be here for a while. Having said that though, most of my weather predictions have been terrible over the last few weeks, so I could well be wrong with regards to what is going to happen with the weather, but at the moment it's just not going to work being out here. Keep an eye on Twitter though, because if things do change, we will be sure to put up a quick warning to say that we've come live again. But until then, I'm just a few moments away from going into the shelter where this vehicle parks. Until then, you take care and we will see you next time. From myself, Jason and Alex, thanks very much.